I probably going. Shit, man. Let's just double check here because I don't know how this stuff works. Ooh boy. We'll get there. Um, Boom. All right, we got there. Yeehaw. So, all right. So we're on editing. I think I may have jumped ahead, but whatever. This is where we are at this point in time. So this is what it is. We already did this one. Oh, so yeah, now we're here. We're like pretty close to the halfway point here. Let me turn the volume down here. It's gonna mess me up. So we're almost at the halfway point here of this editing that we've been doing. Um, so basically, what's happening is we're in the middle of a big fight that's happening. So we've got to just kind of go through the motions here of this fight that's happening. Um, let's see. Oh, so our character is hanging above a lava pit. Kind of has thought of his next move. Sitting around, deliberating and pointing at each other, and the women. Everyone seemed to be pointing towards Sigma and offering him high fives, which he seemed happy to receive. Excuse me. Archman was from outside. Everyone went around suspiciously until Cavus cleared his throat to get their attention. Yep, girls with him confused. Which found a little really. This isn't even the part that we're really so concerned of here. This is kind of like whatever happened here. I think is fine. I think it's more later on that we have to kind of rewrite the dialogue um, and figure out what the heck is happening. Well, that's a little weird that it's like that. And this can go. Oh, never mind. I'm stupid. So that's there. Okay, so that looks better. It's simple, really. Alpha said. He pointed at the tables. They came they were strapped into. Two empty tables were next to them. To a man. Mm-hmm. Explain their exceptional abilities. I've got Bradley with a journal of the mouse. Sorry. Yes, Bradley's pretty sorry. I guess this doesn't. I guess that doesn't have to exist like that. That's kind of silly. Yeah, Bradley's trying to help him, obviously. Um, she pointed at him, struck her arm, and pointed at the guards. She wanted him to make a distraction. Gentleman, so he makes a distraction. Gentleman and gentleman, because it's all guys. Everyone turned to face him. As soon final words. Continue. Vigilante, seek out justice, break the weak, and all that. He laughed in my face and said it wasn't meant for me. Very true. While he was talking, he moved the wires around. Yep, for sure he did that. Funny enough, he told me I ended up getting caught and killed. Brothers can be jerks. Yep. Kevin's frowned and nodded. Yeah, they can be jerks. I think I'm here now, though. I think. Well, if you were here, he laughed. He would fill the room with thick black smoke and force it all into your lungs. Your eyes would tear for a moment until all the moisture was pulled from your body. You'd beg for a grasp of fresh air, but it would never come. It would be slow, painful, and well, just terrifying when you think about it. Um, L goes back to the other side. So no, might not be able to stop you. Hell, we might not be able to stop you. Promise you one thing though, incurring the wrath of that particular hybrid, well, I would advise against it. Blank at the guards looked at each other with the wide eyes. But hey, I'm not telling you how to be evil or anything. I'll install ventilation, Alpha said, and everyone left. Probably just like an ass, I guess. Probably makes more sense. Stretcher looking fuel. There's Omega. Welcome back, Omega. I guess this is... Change this to an apostrophe. Probably that's... It's kind of weird because he's saying this and then he's going to come back and say this. Smiled. Thank you, my lord. Cleaning our research. And he's pissed. Yeah, about that. Heard you got beat up by 2 chicks. For sending us after that. Omega's eyes widened. His eyes widened. Just to make it clear. Omega's eyes widened. No, I've been nothing but little to you. So this can probably come up here. So we know it's kind of a part of one thing. No, I've been nothing but little to you. The Dark-skinned woman was an exceptional fighter. She destroyed my entire tower. She did. Face it, Yema said. We want to take this to here. You no longer have what it takes. I looked at Sigma, who just shook his head. He closed his eyes, sighed, and accepted his fate. Sigma feels bad for him. I wish I can't allow him to watch her defeat you too. Yeah, well, I wouldn't worry too much about that. Right, Dillian Dream. I slammed him into it at first. Terrible smell and smoke filled the surrounding area. Yep. So we need a new Omega, Alpha said. So we should probably just do it like this. There's no reason to do it the other way. The other side is going to be Yorin. Poor Yorin. The crowd clapped as man walked toward Alpha, smiling at your ear. Gets many high fives as his palms turn red. Toonie, Yorin said, I won't let you down. Sorry, Yorin, you're getting the comma there? Of course you won't. This is the part that keeps messing me up. There's so much of this in here. Now get on over here. Yorin and Sigma was trying. I went over and stood next to a lever between the tables. Captain looked at L, who met his gaze and nodded. Let's begin, shall we? Raising his arms. The crowd erupted into applause. It's time for the transference. Such a low monthly payment. Alpha! The crowd cheered. Alpha, Alpha. Alpha smirked and nodded. Alright, without any further ado, let's drop that man, pull that switch, let's effing go. If not, that's beyond panic. Shrunk up to the ceiling hook next. With the lever and the tables loaded with the light blue haze. Faced into horror, they screamed and shook. Their bodies trembling as the their bodies trembling as the something. They screamed and shook. So there's electricity. I guess there's kind of electricity passing through them, but it's like a supernatural kind of thing. So how do I describe that? The men strapped in were smiling until their faces turned to horror. They screamed and shook. their bodies trembling as the device as the devices or device as the device um, they screamed and shook, their bodies trembling as the device performed its. Okay, there's got to be a better way of ending this. As trembling, their bodies trembling as the device um, worked its magic, but a not stupid way to say that. As the device performed its service. What's the stupid word that works here? They screamed and shook, their bodies trembling as the device, or as the setup, as the get up. I mean, the strapped into tables. The strapped into tables, they're trying to suck like life energy out of people. It's a device, I guess. As a device, they screamed and shook as their bodies trembling as a device. What's the phrase? As their bodies trembling as a device. God, I don't want to say move through its motions. I really don't want to say that. As a device, word, spurred. As the device. So they scream and shook, blah, blah, their bodies are trembling. Their bodies trembling. Maybe I shouldn't describe the device. Their bodies trembling in their throats expelling the contents inside. There we go. Forget the device. Hi, how's it going? Bodies trembling in their throats expelling the contents inside. Their muscles aching, and I think until their muscles aching beyond excruciation. Is that a word? Their muscles aching beyond excruciating as their mind subsided reason. There we go. Don't describe the device at all. Excuse me, miss. Subsided reason. There we go. Don't describe the device. They scream and shook. Just describe them. Their bodies trembling, their throats expelling the contents inside, their muscles aching beyond excruciating as their mind subsided reason. Blah, they're going crazy, right? Because they're kind of getting their soul sucked out of them. Cut it, Alpha demanded with a concerned face. I can't, Gamma shouted. It could kill them. That should be a comma. We're editing. We're editing the hell out of this thing. I don't care. Shut it down. Kirsten pulled the lever back. The machine stopped glowing and the men passed out. Ugh. That must have been a nice feeling to pass out then. What happened, Gamma? Alpha asked. Someone crossed the wires. Son of a... Is that supposed to be... Probably not. Maybe yes, maybe no. Son of a... I'm going to say no. He began... I'm going to say he changed the wires back. Actually, it's probably fine as it began, because he doesn't fix it immediately. It's probably fine. He's working on it. He has not done it yet. Just get it done before she... Becky's eyes opened. She took a peek around the room and at her constraints. Strength built inside her like never before. That's right. Stop her now. Alpha ordered. It's a good time to have ordered. As the guards approached her, she focused her power and pushed them all back, except for Alpha, who stood his ground in the heavy wind. Back, so with her wind, yeah. Nelphys ground in the heavy wind. One by one, she removed each shackle from her body and pulled each limb free from the table. When she finally stood, she spun around and punched the table towards Gamma. Which, breaking free from her constraints, she fell to the ground and collected herself. Excuse me. What is with these people? She finally stood, she spun around and punched the table towards Gamma, collided with him and sent him in a table flying across the room. Is that a double? No. Where's a loud one? Lily for that, sweetheart. That should be up here. I do believe you're next. Yeah, you're so corny. Steady held up a glowing ring. The wind was sucked into it and he aimed it toward her. Who has the gold? Put against the wall, makes the rules. Yeah, just this beautiful, beautiful corny line. For Alpha to have. Love it. He laughed and turned his back on her. Fuck it, kill her. The guards took their battle stances and closed in on her. She reached for a dagger, but it wasn't there, so she put her fist up. Took their battle stances, took up their weapons. Took up their weapons. They're not battle stances, weapons. Blah. They probably don't have battle stances. They're probably not trained. Closed in on her. She reached for a dagger, but it wasn't there. So she put her fist up into the air. Put her fist up into the air. To the air surrounding her. And leaped from it. Leapt, leaped. Up there, leaped. Leapt. Choose either one. Leaped from it. I like leapt. I was leapt from it. Sound erupted from her peripheral. Splashing. A thick splashing erupted. The love erupted outwards. She hears it and she looks at it. She hears it, she looks at it, the lava pit erupted outwards, and he leaps from it. See that on the ground. Bits of lava splattered around him. He sat there on one knee, his arms outstretched, his clothes had burned away, and the chains that wrapped him now only partially covered him. He held the chains in his hands, yet his legs cramped after a moment. And he stands and rubs at it furiously. Ow, 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 Charlie horse, ow. A moment he stood tall and took another battle stance. How did you survive that? He smiled, because I can kick lava's ass. Boof! Reference. He charged the crowd and swung his chains with a great force. As he swung the chains, they grew shorter with each swing. The molten metal oozed off them, flung off, and attached to the guard's armor. They had no choice but to remove their armor or else be cooked alive in it. Ekio watched, her eyes wide. He cleared half the room before the chains were gone. He grabbed a sword off the ground but found it difficult to hold with melted chains on his hands. Makino charged in to join the fight. Cut her armor's speed. The blow hit her hip and caused her to stumble onto her side. Putting on tinted glasses went hybrid, huh? Yeah, seems. The fucking glasses are pissing me off. Ugh. It's kind of a dumb gimmick, but doesn't matter that it's a dumb gimmick. Probably not. There was like different iterations of this existing. I mean, something has to. It's basically just a device to be like, oh, it has this other power. That's cool. So it's either like a tool that's doing that, or it's like a person that's telling him this. So they both kind of like both ways kind of suck. He cannot figure it out himself. It's impossible. He would have already done it. Like you can't tell him. No, like no one else here can tell him. So it would have to be an outside source. So I guess this is as good as Eddie. I guess it makes sense for this kind of jerk to have him. In a way. You're so fucking corny. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about this whole thing that's happening here. The wind out of you, ha ha ha. Yeah, see that wind hybrid? I just knocked the wind out of you. He laughs. You're so effing corny. With the disgusted face. His arm morphed into a veiny blade made of flesh. Usually, I like to take my time, but let's make this quick. That's fine. Gamma can say that. Put a little. My cursor go. Jesus. Is that agreed? Believe it or not, that's like the easy part, and then it sucks so much after this because we're gonna have to change so much. But there is a really fun chapter coming up in a couple. Agreed. He ran towards Akio, took a defensive stance, but he struck the shoulder and reeled back. Short delay, his shoulder exploded. She looked over her own shoulder and saw Ella removing the rest of the ropes from Hunter, who was aiming toward them. Got you 3, he said. 3 is over her right side, I guess. But it should be 9. To me, it feels like a 9. Got your 9. Now me. Throw me yelled. I tripped the shit out of everyone in here. It's true. And she's gonna you know what's funny is I'm gonna trip you. I'm gonna trip the shit out of everyone in here. It doesn't even come from this scenario, but she said that in a previous scenario that I had written, because this whole thing was different before. But it was still kind of like the girls were strapped to tables, and then Thurman is yelling, I'm gonna trip the shit out of everyone in here. I guess it kind of makes sense here because she tripped the other guy. So that can go there. So back into him. A new arm with even more evil-looking flesh sword. I'll take that one. Granite frowned and smiled. He stepped into his fallen arms over the back into him, forming a new arm with even more evil-looking flesh sword. I'll take that one. I'll take that one. That should be up here then, because that's kind of about him. As he ran past Akio, Akio suffered a wind to push Alpha into the wall. As he ran past Akio, Akio suffered a wind to push Alpha into the wall. Yet Alpha reflected the wind power to send her flying toward Cannabis, who caught her. Hello, Linus, he said, winking. Plenty of time for that later. God, this program sucks. The lag on it. and stood on her own. Use your powers on the pale one, Akio remarked, I guess. Yep. He looked at her and pursed his lips. Oh, don't worry. Let Hunter have some fun, because he can't. He's more than capable, you know. On a note of the 20 remaining fighters and their leaders, saw El sneaking over toward Thermia, which drew Elfie's attention. I'll take the leader. Can you take down their soldiers? He gave him a smug look, kicked the staff off the ground into her hands, controlled it around her body, and ended in a battle stance. I think so, she said. Bet I'm done before you are. The dagger. Get your pride, sure. Bet the dagger. It's not really clear what's happening here, but bet the dagger. Bet the dagger. Bet the dagger. She smiled. Against your pride? Sure. They charged into battle. Boom. Moving on. Where do we end up here? Yeah. Hunter v. Gamma. Bam, 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 bam. 4 explosive shots left in his metal knuckles. Knowing how ineffective the last round was, he saved the remaining shots. Because he just absorbed his arm back into him. He only dodged a blade arm and struck blows when he could. The man before him wasn't nearly as strong as the behemoth he fought earlier, but he was craftier. Strikes, his limbs would change forms to bludgeoning weapons. Pathetic, he said. This is what the crown says nowadays. Should be, he said. It should be Gamma said. Apostrophe, lowercase. Unless a day in the old times. I guess Gamma's old. Thrusted a mace-shaped arm toward Hunter, who caught the blow with his hands, yet his arm extended and collided with Hunter's chest. His 2 hands. Let's try 2. I think that makes more sense. Poof. Like this, you know. Hunter was sent flying backward. He stood, watching as Gamma, who had absorbed some of his leg into his arm to allow the extended arm attack, returned his body to normal. Interesting body he got there. Yeah, I guess that can be there. Right, like, whoops. Some remarking that, Hunter remarked. And swung him again. He caught the blow once more and activated his sight, stunning both men. A few months later, they regained their composure and spoke back from one another. What the hell was that? Kim asked. Hunter grinned. So I didn't kill you, Bruce. Gamma's eyes widened. Should be. I guess that makes more sense. Okay, now they're a fight. Cam turned towards Alpha, screaming to get his attention off Thermia, while Akio leaped into a group of guards. She swung her air-infused staff around, knocking them about. He swung at Alpha. Got you, Cadavis cried as the blade collided with Alpha's back before it bounced off and the weapon's vibration hurt his hand. Before it bounced off. Reverberating through his body. Throughout his entire body. Alpha flew under his nose. Whoops. Yeah, you sure got me, bro. That can be up here. Yeah, you sure got me, bro. He continued his glare at the crowd, not paying attention to Cadavis, swinging off his body, trying to cut through it. Growing frustrated, he grabbed the sword with 2 hands and swung as hard as he could, screaming. Alpha slightly stumbled and turned around, angry. Alpha punched his chest, and he felt all the air rush out of his body. He was then struck in the back of the head, sitting him face first into the ground. Alpha placed his boot onto his back. What the actual fuck? Cadavis groaned. Maybe you didn't realize it when I'm decked out in the best chain items I can buy. Showed off his outfit, several rings, necklaces, necklace, a necklace, and a bracelet. Bracelets. Bracelets. A few things tailored to fit, which might have dampened their effectiveness a bit, but it's more than enough to get the job done. Here, inserted him through his tinted glasses. Oh, a siphon. Yeah, that's not gonna work on me, bud. Not a hybrid, you can't steal my powers. Cadavis shook his head. Siphon? Siphon. It's responsible. I had stale smashing the pizza for the bonds. Regained consciousness, he looked down at his arm that was repaired. His face grew angry. Why arm not fixed? Gotta be part of the same thing, isn't it? He crawled the canvas, picked up Cadavis with his good arm, struggling as he did so. Cadavis pointed toward Alpha. I was just going with one arm. Of course, I told him that's ridiculous. You can't hit the staff and such at the same time. That. Someone dropped on the ground and bared his teeth at Alpha, who was paying attention to the other fights in the room. Finish him, Sigma, Alpha said without looking at him. Maybe that? Crush ants. Of course, Sigma. Crushes ants. Threw him into a pillar and rained punches onto him. Shook his head as his blows landed. You have 2 seconds to stop this. Just get the attacking. Cried out, tears filling his eyes. This is the part that keeps messing me up, is this break. Alpha said, apostrophe, but because it's not, I don't know. It feels grammatically wrong, but I guess it's correct. I don't know. Sigma's words on the ground were silenced when he stomped through his head. The explosion of blood slowly jerked off his clothing and fell to the ground around him. He looked toward the light-skinned woman and noticed she wasn't strapped to the table anymore. This is POV changing. Thanks, traitor, she said to Ellis. I mean, I guess I should break Thermi here. It's not really obvious. I mean, it should be. It's kind of obvious, but it's not. Thermi says, Elle is hid behind a pillar. Traitor, Elle said. Hello? The one who saved all your asses. Shut. Maybe italicize that. Saved all your asses. Confusion filled her face as she thought about the situation. I don't know why I feel like it has to be. Probably has to be made clearer. You sent me an echo to the wizard and then let Gamma pretend to be you. I placed a hand over her mouth and giggled. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. I'm bad with directions. Gamma caught me trying to steal his code. Probably an overcomplicated thing that happened, but whatever. It's just fun to think that Elle is bad. This coach turned to look at him fighting Hunter. It's everything he looks, and he's pretty terrifying to begin with. Gamatron caught me. They were not deciding to trust her. Deciding against her better judgments. To trust her. Okay then, what do we do now? It doesn't look good for us, does it? She pursed her lips and thought for a moment. Thermius said. Oh, wait a minute. No, I don't have to do that. I can just put it up here. That's kind of stupid. Bam, that's there. Just press the start moments. Then this can go up here. I can write L. L pursed her lips and thought for a moment, I think I know what has to be done, but you might not like it. She raised her eyebrows at Thermia and then whispered into her ear. Thermia's eyes widened and her jaw dropped. Are you crazy? I'm not doing that. That should be up here. She stared at her and tilted her head, letting the moment hang in the air. Fine, just so you know, I haven't been able to work out in weeks, Thermia said. Thermia said, her arms folding, her arms folding, her arms folding. She laughed. God dang it. It's so hard when it's just two women talking. Elle laughed and left, stealthily crouching around the room. Laughed and left, stealthily crouching around. And back to Ekio, doing cool shit. Ekio defeated enemy after enemy. She thought of her youth, training against multiple attackers in a courtyard. Her mind drifted back to that time, laughing with her sparring partners. Her entire youth had been spent training for moments like these. Gibbons natural is braiding hair. Alpha's scars, on the other hand, lacked technique and practice. She glanced at her bracelet and then she narrowed at the reigning guards. All at once now, boys, one of the guards shouted. She can't stop us all. We can just do this. Charge. As they swarmed, she thrusted her staff out and Sternum cracked when it connected. Luckily for her, Cataphus caused them to strip off their metal armor. Set them across the ground. Flash, put her hands, rings the cross on her cruising weapons. Focusing, she took a deep breath. She held the staff in the middle and parried their blows as they rained in the middle of the shaft. Parried the blows, they rained down on her. It didn't take long for their lack of training to show as her blows became slower and more forced. She caught a glimpse of the dagger she had won from Cataphus in the hands of one of the guards. She swung up at his hand, causing the dagger to shoot into the air. She thrusted the tip of the staff into his forehead, pulled the dagger in the air, and dodged it as it came down. It stuck into the neck of the man behind her. She tried to command it back, but it was stuck too deep. She rolled backward and removed it, launched the staff toward the feet of the last four. They stumbled, and she moved in. Dagger in hand. Dagger in hand, slicing through their vital arteries. When she was on the other side of them, she pushed them with her wind, forcing against the wall. They grabbed their wounds as that would soon drain most of their blood. Ugh, Akio, you're gross. Don't do it. Okay, we can do... How do we end up here? Oh. This one... damn it. This one might have to get fixed. And the next one, I don't know. Probably this one. Oh, I feel like it's this one. It's going to be really cringy. Hunter continued to dodge Gamma's blows as Gamma chased him down. Gamma changed his tactics. Quick piercing attacks using quick piercing attacks instead of swings. One caught through his leg. He stumbled to the ground and caught another through his hand. What the frig? Hold on. Using quick piercing attacks instead of swings. One caught through Hunter's leg. He stumbled to the ground and caught another through his hand, preventing it from going into his head. Gamma laughed. You're about to die, dog. Of course, he talks like that. He pulsed the bits of himself that were inside Hunter, causing Hunter to scream in agony. I know I said it'd be quick, but I love this part. His wicked grin, Tomoe said, looking even more sinister. Once again, and again, and again. When each ended, Gamma would try and speak, only to be pulled back into it. After several visions, he withdrew his hold on Hunter. Spun as his mind centered on reality. 4 shots rang out. 2 explosions sounded behind him and 2 more in his body. Blowing off his leg and arm, Hunter rolled over and grabbed him in the loose bandages before Gamma could collect them. He tossed him into the lava that he had lured him over to. Gamma had to reform his body into a much smaller proportion. "You dog," he said, his voice higher pitched. He stood only 4 feet tall with matching proportions. It gets a little fuzzy after visions. Like for me, I don't need every shot to land, Hunter said. Apostrophe? Drank a blue vial down. His bleeding stopped and his wounds slowly closed. "You think I can't kill you like this?" Gamma said. "I'll cut you to bits." He turned his limbs in the such moments to charge, and I grabbed his arms and brought his foot up, kicking his chin, slamming his heel into his chin. Slamming his heel into his chin. The leg blades cut, but not deep. The arms Hunter held onto ripped off as he was sent flying back. Hunter threw the bits into the lava and his size shrunk once more. "So was your buddy use a sharing like the one I took," Hunter said. "Heals the body." It's the body, including damaged muscles, makes him stronger. Put his fist up. "I'm not going to lose to you, dog," Gamma said, his voice even higher pitched now. "I am eternal. I won't." Hunter charged and punched his head down, slamming him to the ground. Grabbed his body with a limp. He grabbed the limp body and threw it into the lava pit. "Knowing bastard?" The combination of repeatedly using his sight and drinking the vial had taken the toll on his body. Hey, I still need to, and he fell to the ground unconscious. "You're out of there." "It's probably going to go against ethics, but can you tell me your weakness?" Wyndham laughed. "Haha, redhead's good." He got to a fighting stance and kissed one of his rings. Of course he would. "Oh, I think I like bald heads now. Well, maybe it's not the hair that matters, but..." Alpha swings at him, knock him to the side. It's a nice little callback there, by the way, the bald heads. That's so stupid. Alpha swung and knocked him to the side. He carried a combination of attacks. Cavus tried his best to block, but the pain rang through his body. Alpha took a step back, hopping from foot to foot before stepping forward and throwing a roundhouse kick that, even though Cavus blocked, sent him flying toward a pillar. So he's just kind of getting his ass kicked. There's just nothing he can do. He's just stronger and faster than him. But he flies towards the pillar. "Guess you just give up now," Alpha says. Of course he would. Why would he not say that? "There's no shame in submitting to Alpha. It's just nature. Ha ha ha. Get it, Alpha? Ha 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 ha." Alpha looked around the room, noting all of his subordinates were dead or defeated. He shook his head and sighed. Why is it so hard to find good talent nowadays? "Very clever, Alpha." Cadavis slowly got to his feet and grabbed a mace he found on the ground. He swayed back and forth, his body giving out on him. So he's all fucked up and he's just kind of swaying. But he's still trying to fight. "That's not going to happen. You killed Sparks. You tried to kill my other friends. I won't forgive your treacherous douchebaggery." I guess douchebaggery, I guess that's fine. How would you even write that? Debauchery? No. Douchebaggery. That's what it is. Treacherous. Just his beautiful language that he uses here. Treacherous douchebaggery. Alpha shrugged, picked up a spear from the ground, and threw it at Cadavis, who was unable to dodge the blow. Of course, it's too fast. He had a rush of wind from the side, pushed him out of the way and into Ekio's waiting arms. Ekio's arms. Should it be waiting arms? Ekio's waiting arms? That's probably better. I might like it better. Is this waiting arms? Thank you. "Guess the dagger is still mine," she says, winking. Yep, it sure is. "Yeah, I kind of stacked the deck against myself," he says. "This is, let's change this, please, to a nice little lowercase. This is a pretty good consolation prize, though." He reached around to grab her hips, and she dropped him on the ground. "I'm okay." Yeah, you gotta do the whole, if like a guy falls down, you gotta do, "I'm okay," right after that. Um, let's finish this. She pulled him back up to his feet. Yep, Alpha walked up to them, his hands in his pockets, because he doesn't have a care in the dang world. Wind and Siphon, interesting. Yep, he's got his cool glasses. Confused, she stared at him. Siphon? That's what I said. I thought it was clever was saying I suck. True. This guy is a siphon, Alpha said, removing his hands from his pockets. He could be useful to me. Well, he could have been. Now he's about to be dead. I just like that his dialogue is so stupid. Like it doesn't. It's just a dumbass. It's just. It can't. It shouldn't be clever because he's an idiot. You know. It's supposed to be stupid, so it's kind of fun to write because he's about to be dead. Um. Now use your fire powers on him, she whispered to Cadavis. Don't use your fire powers on him, she whispered to Cadavis, who's afraid to use his fire powers. He can absorb it. Cadavis nodded, thanking the gods. Yes. All right, I'm bored now. Time to end it. That should probably be a lowercase. I'm bored now. Time to end it. Alpha lowered his body, and he was about to charge when... Oh, hubba hubba, Thermia said from his side. Um, Probably like a voice called out from the side. Voice called out from the side. Let's see here. There stood Thermia, who had cut her pants and shirt short. She's gonna like seduce him from like the sidelines, which is funny because she's a redhead. Anyway, there stood Thermia, who had cut her pants and shirt short, with her body on display. She walked toward him. Sup, bitch? Alpha says, lowering his guard. I forgot that's that. That's such an asshole. Watching a real man in action. Thermia says, tried her best to appear sexy. It really gets my furnace going, if you know what I mean. She stumbled over a fallen body, nearly falling before regaining her composure. Gets me horny for having sex. She leaned her back against the pillar and pushed her chest out, blowing her hair out of her face. Yeah, we all know what you meant, Alpha says. Well, okay. Punctuation, please. Well, just give me a minute, babe. Work comes first, obviously. She dropped a rock from her hands onto the ground. Oops, she said playfully. I dropped my favorite rock. Guess I'll have to pick it up. Confused, everyone stared at her as she turned her back toward them and slowly picked up the rock. When she flipped her hair and looked back toward Alpha, she fell onto her head. Fucking damn it! She cried. Cadavis and Accio looking toward Alpha and saw El behind him, reaching for his... Cadavis and Accio looked toward Alpha and saw El behind him, reaching for his hand. Yet Alpha sensed her presence and grabbed her wrist. Fucking damn it. She cried as she fell to the ground. She fell to the ground. I guess that should be there. So she's on the ground. Alpha sensed her presence and grabs her wrist. El, well, you're fired, bitch. Enjoy retirement. He punched her, sending her flying away. She rolled across the ground before coming to a stop. El, Cadavis called out to her. In a fetal position, she held out her hand to show a bunch of jewelry and smiled through bloody teeth. She passed out shortly after. Alpha could sense his strength had waned and checked his body, realizing all the enchanted jewelry he was wearing was now gone. Go, Atticus! He growled and walked toward Elle's body, but Cadavis and Accio ran between them. Accio gently pushed Elle with her wind, sliding her body along the floor away from them. Which is really nice that Accio is being gentle with Elle because she hates her. Up until this very moment, for some reason. It doesn't effing matter, Alpha said as he adjusted his clothing. You still can't hurt me in this outfit. Alpha's wearing an enchanted outfit. He just can't be harmed in But he did mention earlier that he had it tailored. So, foreshadowing. I never thought I'd say this, Cadavis said, but let's take that man's clothes off until he's naked. This is the stupid line that probably shouldn't be here. I never thought I'd say this. That's fine, but let's take this man's clothes off until he's naked. It's like a straightforward thing to say. It's maybe fine, but it probably should be something else. I never thought I'd say this. It shouldn't be that. No, it shouldn't be that. But, never thought I'd say this, but, let's, but, let's get that guy's clothes off. Let's strip that guy. Let's strip that man down to his undies. It's probably better. I mean, it's better than what was there. Let's strip the man down to his undies. They kind of use modern-ish terms, apparently. It's like undies, undergarments, under whatever, right? Let's strip the man down to his undies. It's probably fine. It's better than let's strip the man down to his undergarments. I think undies is better. Yeah, okay. Accio Snickers. You're not wrong, but it sounds strange to hear it out loud. That's also stupid. Okay, this placeholder should be something else. You're not wrong. It sounds strange to hear it out loud. Yeah. Accio says something back to him. This should be a nice play on words, but I just don't know what to put here properly, unfortunately. Okay, let's strip the man down to his undies. Accio Snickers. You're not wrong. Oh. I'm thinking like it's good to see your enthusiasm for something returning, or what is it? Not this. That sucks. Accio Snickers. She laughs. Let's strip that man down to his undies. I never thought I'd say this, but let's strip that man down to his undies. I never thought he'd say that. Accio laughs. And her basic warrior woman remark, snarky little remark, is to probably make fun of Cadavis somehow. And say something like, what the heck? Never thought I'd say this. That's what it meant. I just kept snickered. You're back to your weekend. Jesus. Back to your activity. Festivities? Festivities? Is that a word? Festivities? Back to your weekend festivities are. Back to your weekend festivities are we? Haha, Cadavis. I mean, the joke has to be at him. Let's strip that man down to his undies. That's fine. Snickered. Back to your weekend festivities, are we? Ha ha ha, Cadavis. You're gay, ha. They ran in. It's fine. It's better than it was. They ran in and punched. And maybe in the next pass I'll think of something better. They ran in, punching and slashing Alpha. He held his arms up and blocked all the blows. A deep bass noise coming from each deflected attack. Retribution! Alpha screamed. Invisible force came from his chest and pushed Accio and Cadavis away from him. The tip of the attack caught Thermia, causing her to fall to the ground again and hit her head against a rock, knocking her out. Thermia always gets knocked out. That's kind of her thing. But it's kind of necessary for reasons. And Cavs and Ekio groan as they lay on the ground, knocking her out. But yeah. Alpha removed a watch from his pocket and put it on his wrist. His body radiated a purple aura around him, and his eyes glowed the same purple, hueish color. Is that a word, hueish? No, I don't think so. Hueish. How did I write that? Is that a word? Yeesh. It's like a weird racist thing or something. All right, we won't write that. Okay, so I won't use hueish. It's like some kind of weird thing. Kind of weird race thing. His eyes glow the same purple color. It's fine. Ekio got to her feet and placed the dagger in front of her. This is it, he said, his body hovering as a purple aura concentrated on his hands. You lost, I won. Nothing can stop this attack, not even gods. True. He placed his hands together behind him as the purple glow emanated from them even more. Put on his wrist. He removed the woman's watch. It's supposed to be a woman's watch, actually. My bad. Woman's watch from his pocket and put on his wrist. That's important for later. Not even gods together behind him as the purple glow emanated from even more. Cursing. Ekio summoned every ounce of power she had into the dagger. She's got wind powers, so she's going to try to deflect this attack. Right, that's her. Move out of the way, Cadavis shouted at her, pointing for her to hide behind a pillar. Just get away, get away. Determination and anger filled her face. She's Ekio. She doesn't lose.
Oh, it's my slipping.
Alfie threw his hands forward and unleashed a I'm streaming. Then I'm streaming to one person.
Where?
I don't know where. On YouTube. But I'm also editing at the same time, which is nice. So I'm kind of getting through this here. Alpha threw his hands forward and unleashed a purple beam attack, headed straight for her. Stop! Cappy shot forever and took the blow to his chest. Shit. I won't. I can deflect it. That's supposed to be up here. Termination anger, feel the face. I won't. I can deflect it. Piercing wind blade formed around the dagger. His hands forward and unleashed a purple beam attack that headed straight for her, toward her. For? Like toward. Stop. Cadavis shot up in front of her and took the blow to his chest. To his own chest. And knocked them both back, with him falling on top of her. His body slamming into hers. His body slamming into hers. With him falling on top of her. She groaned. Get up. She groaned. She groaned. Get up. She said, she spoke to him, she groaned. Get up. But he didn't answer. Get up, she said again, nudging his body. Still, there was no response. Her voice trembled. Cadavis, get up. I don't even know if this has to be here, but whatever. Trembled, stuttering, whatever. It's fine. I don't mind this, actually. This is the only time you see her speech fluttered a little bit. She pushed him off her, got to her knees, looked to his empty eyes. She caressed his face where a smirk remained, and buried her forehead into his, running her fingers over his chest and feeling a warm liquid spilling from his body. Ay, Shamani, she whispered to him. which means, God, does that mean I'm sorry? I'm sorry. It's Swahili for something. Hey, in English. English. Claire? What does I Jamani mean? I Jamani. Yeah. What does it mean? Oh, really? Okay. Thanks. Eh. Ajamani, she whispered to him. Which I guess means, oh, really? I thought it meant, oh, sorry, or something like that. That's not what I wanted there, though. No. That shouldn't be it, sorry. Wazim. Wazim. Which means stupid. Wazimo means stupid in Swahili. Idiot. Don't worry, you'll join him soon. Alpha said as purple aura slowly disappeared. The watch he wore turned into a purple light and evaporated from his wrist. Watch is gone. She tried to wipe the tears from her eyes, but they kept coming. So she sat, holding onto his body. She grabbed his hand and placed it onto his chest, giving him his dagger back. Yikes. Oh, that one kind of gets me a little bit. So she stole his, she won his dagger in a bet that she kind of cheated on, and she just refuses to give it back the whole time. So then, in this moment, she's like gives it back to him because he's dead. Ish. Alpha continued to taunt her, but his words were distant. She stood and looked around the room, seeing all the bodies on the floor gave her flashbacks of the Ares trial, where she acquired her wind power. She closed her eyes and took several deep breaths before opening them again, focusing on Alpha. So I guess this is like her trial, or like this is kind of like all of her bullshit, kind of on display, which is really fun for the character. Everyone's all fucked up, whatever. She's been through fucking hell today, like the worst hell possible, just nonstop, and here she is. Looks like you got that determined bitch face. Says the worst thing possible. Yikes. I wouldn't have said that. Would not have said that. Come here and I'll take care of that for you. She cracked her knuckles and walked toward Alpha. Cracked her knuckles, I think neck. Not knuckles, neck. Neck is way cooler. And walked toward Alpha. He was right about how to beat you. I'm going to strip you of your defenses. What would you be without your defenses? I don't like that line. He's right about to beat you. I'm going to strip you of your defenses. I don't like that line. I want it to be something else. Something more sinister. Yes. victim would you be without your petty defenses? Something like that, I guess. What kind of victim would you be without your petty defenses? Ikea remarked, her face blank. Just the I've had enough. And knowing that his clothing is protecting him. Tell you what, sweetheart, get on your knees and beg for my forgiveness, and maybe I'll let one of your friends live. Whoops. He charged. Ikea spun around him and yanked the collar of his jacket, kicking behind his knee. She pulled on the jacket while pushing his head forward. The jacket tore at the tailored seams, and she threw it to the ground. He grabbed her wrist. She spun around and ripped the dress shirt open, breaking all the buttons. She then grabbed each side of the shirt and slammed her knee into his chin. The shirt ripped off him as he flew backwards. He looked at her while holding the tattered remains of his shirt. For the first time, she saw fear in his eyes. He turned to flee, but she chased him down and grabbed his pants waistband. She reached aside, grabbed his underwear, and pulled it up until she lifted him off the ground. Atomic wedgie his ass. The undergarment snapped, and she threw the broken pink Speedo onto the ground. He shrieked and tried to take off again, but Akio tackled him from behind once more, knocking them both to the ground. She pulled his pants down and forced them off, tearing them in the process. Of course, you would tailor objects touched by gods. Your vanity is your undoing. Yeah. Akio sad. I don't know if that works, but I don't feel great about it. But it's kind of to the point. Of course, you would tailor objects touched by gods. Your vanity is your undoing. I mean, it's kind of obvious, but you kind of have to state the obvious sometimes. He cringed and felt the despair. All right, fine. Fuck, I'll give you some money to leave. That's what I'll give you money if you leave. He stood and covered his private parts. She reached out and pulled the staff to her hands and held it toward him. No. Beg. He laughed at her request, so she spun the staff and hit his right arm, breaking it. He cried out and fell to his knees. Beg, she said through gritted teeth. Beg! Like that. He looked around to make sure nobody was watching. Fuck! Fine. Please, please don't kill me. Please, please don't kill me. Make me believe it. Make me believe it, she shouted. She shouted, make me believe it. I think it's more sinister. She just says it soft. She said softly. Make me believe it, she said softly, swinging his other arm and snapping that one too. Please, please. More italics. We need so many italics in here. Please, please, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the fucked up shit I've done to you. Just please, please let me live. I want to die before I'm a millionaire. And then he rubbed his tears off with his shoulders with an empty face. Akio placed the staff on her chin and made him stand. Okay, go. Okay, go. He looked at her at the exit and then back at her. As he turned around to leave, she snapped the staff in half over her knee and spun her arm around his body, stabbing his heart. She could feel the echo of his pulse fade through the broken staff. She let the body fall to the ground and walked over to Cavis's body. She stood up again and rested her head. Asante. Asante. All right. Cheerio. What a worthless endeavor.